Hello, welcome to another video. So you catch me in the midst of adding some more damp rods and doing the timber floor. I'll show you what I did, why I did it, and how I got to here in this video. I've got some time lapses of some of the more boring jobs, but it goes through how I changed this concrete floor to a timber floor, as you can see. And I had to do a lot of digging with the help of some friends, and if they're watching this video, thank you. I am grateful, I swear it. Right, enjoy the video, guys. Step one, remove the concrete floor. So I needed to break it all out. I'm using Einshell breaker. Cost me like 120 pounds. It's pretty good for short periods of time, but you don't want to be on it too long or you'll get white finger, which is some sort of circulatory issue caused by using vibrating tools. So I'm taking little breaks, and also I've got big bits of foam on the handles. Once I broke all that out, my friend who's helped me on a lot of previous projects, or actually we worked on a lot of previous projects together. He's come to help me for the day, and we're going to get all this concrete shipped out to the front, as I've got a grab lorry coming shortly, just before I dig out the rest of the floor. After one friend left, another friend came and helped me another day, and we started digging out the floor, which was brutal. It was a terribly hot day. I want to say it was like 28, 29 outside, and there's no ventilation in this kitchen whatsoever, even with the window open, and we were sweating profusely. I believe we even took a garden shower after this, which was just us hosing one another down. It was very intimate for family members to have to go through, but yeah, me and my cousin, we moved, I want to say 6-7 tons. We had to dig and then barrow through to the front drive, ready for the next grab truck. So it was quite grueling work. It did take about 5 hours of a relentless competitive pace of who could dig more. But yeah, we got it done. It was a concrete floor. You can sort of see the line it went to before, but I broke all that out. It was a thin layer of concrete and incredibly damp walls. So I've been in the process of clearing out the cavities with the damp cavity wall insulation, and I'm also going to inject a chemical damp proof course all the way around the perimeter of the room. So I'm about to use these dry rods. I've got a 12mm drill bit for the SDS. Having to use a corded SDS. Mine's off for repair. Sad times. But yeah, this is what I'm working on. I don't have anything to do with the manufacturer, obviously, and I am not a scientist, but supposedly they release a chemical which goes into the capillaries of the bricks, which is what makes the bricks obviously absorb water and water travel through them through capillary action, and then this blocks that up, preventing water from travelling up, and it's put in the mortar courses to do a similar thing. So around one side of the room I've installed the dry rods. I'll show you. You can see them here as they wrap round the corner. Just give you a bit of perspective. As they wrap round the room, you can see it works out about like, well, it says on the instructions, where is it? Every 120. There you go, every 120. The most tedious task is just chopping them in half. And then you can see they just run all the way across that course, all the way down to there. Only this room's really experienced a lot of damp, other than round by the back door, which had a non-existent wall plate in it. And as a result, where there was no wall plate, lots of water was actually rushing into the back of the house. Well, not rushing. It wasn't like that scene from Jumanji. But yeah, water was getting in near the back door. It rotted away completely the wall plate that the back door was sat on, but that's been replaced with engineering bricks and a traditional damp-proof plastic course. You want to be wearing gloves when you do this. I haven't got gloves on at this second, but I have been wearing gloves because you need to chop all these in half, and yeah, that's the most tedious task. I guess there's something released from cutting them in half, because there seems to be like a bit of liquid that splooges out, and that liquid you definitely don't want on your fingers, because I'm sure it's not good for you, but supposedly really good for damp. But yeah, I've installed it around one side, and now I'm just going to do the other side. So I'm still vacuuming out the cavities. It's a lot of like sand, old brick dust, all sorts, insulation, cavity wall insulation, which gets damp, which then transfers to the inside of the house, the inside skin. I'll just show you, like, this is like one hoover load. There's a 38 litre hoover, and I'm probably hoovering for 10 minutes. Just a lot of it's not loose, you've got to loosen it up. And then yeah, I'm not using it with bags, just because the bags are so damn expensive, and it's fine to use it with just the filter. You just got to clean off the filter, and I'll do that with the blower. But yeah, just got to keep wheeling these out. Most of it is loose stuff, and you can see here the consistency of it. I'm able to get vacuum in there, and it picks up most of the loose stuff that's relatively dry, but it clumps at the bottom when it's soaking wet, and then attaches to all the old brick dust from when they were building the house and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know whether there's a better way to clear out the cavities, but this is the method I'm going for at the moment. So I've got a few tools here. As I mentioned earlier, they've got this Vac Master. It's an L-class dust vacuum with a filter, HEPA filter on the exhaust. So you're not blowing dust around the whole room, which is nice for your lungs. It's 38 litre capacity, so that picks up all the loose stuff that I can't reach with my hands. I've then got a blower, which I'll put in the cavity to agitate all the loose stuff to fall to the bottom of the cavity. To open the cavities up, I have this, which is a recip saw with a masonry blade on the end of it. That allows me to cut round the bricks like this, and it creates an opening. So I can just put in a new brick to replace that. And I have this SDS on loan from a friend, which I'm using to drill the dry rods in with a 12mm drill bit, and some stitch drilling for the brickwork. But just essentially just want to increase the airflow, so I'm going to leave a few of these openings. I've got some plastic air bricks that can go in, and yeah, it just keeps the airflow. There's previously no air bricks in this section. As you can see, it's not the biggest section. It's like 4.5 meters by it's like 2.7 meters. So it is still manual labourable, if that's a word. Pretty sure that's not a word, but yeah, it's going through and clearing out those cavities. That's just so important, again, as I mentioned, for the airflow. If you get the airflow right, then it's going to stop things from staying damp. The cavity fill, if you think about it, is just a bunch of fiberglassy cotton wool stuff that's been blown in. It gets wet, it sinks to the bottom of the cavity. That's where all the damp is coming through. Arguably, there is another small issue potentially outside, the ground level being too high, but that's a process that I'm going to go through in the future. Until then, it's, yeah, as I mentioned, going through this side, putting in all the dry rods. I've been manually mixing and pouring some footings. They're not crazy 600 footings. So I'll show you the process. which will be blocks on here. Then I'll be sitting on a timber wall plate similar to what you see here from the previous video, and with a damp proof course underneath. So just continuing this all the way across so there's not a disparity in the levels, and also allowing me to tackle the damp issue. And additionally, I've gone about insulating the floor in here. So the insulated floor in the main part of the room, well, I say the room, in this living dining room space, has been insulated with 120mm PIR. This stuff, that's some of the offcuts. And I'm just going to be running that in all across here as well, because previously it was uninsulated, and when you haven't got insulation in one section of the downstairs living and you have it in the other, it kind of defeats the point, I think. And it allowed me to tackle the damp problem. It allowed me to run the floors in where they were level with one another, and it's also allowed me to run my services underneath. So you can see here I've got my flow and return feeds. The boiler's going to be somewhere around here, and I've got my flow and return for upstairs. All these podge connections is just where I've been doing the pressure test this morning. You can see all that in there, but that's not related to this video. Then it came time to build the sleeper, dwarf, pier walls, whatever people choose to call them. I've heard them called a million different things, which are going to sit my wall plates on. So I had my brother come round, do these. I've got a few engineering bricks, which I'll explain in a minute what they're for. Helps make up the courses so there's no cuts as well. So this is what I mean by engineering brick on edge. Oh, yep, thank you, Bambi. So you've got the... Yep, you done? You done? Yep. All right, excuse me. Good go. Sorry, we've just been out for a walk, and she likes to cuddle after a walk, but yeah, very good. So this is what I mean by engineering brick on edge, like soldiers. So stood upright, and any holes facing inwards, so the airflow allows to go between these walls. Is that an appropriate place to sit? I don't know. You can see the build up. They're very good. You can see the build up, those 3 pier walls, and then wall plate, and then timbers will just run across this way, and then it'll be filled with insulation. And I'm going to cut open the back and install some French doors. Oh, that acro, it's not doing anything. It was just for the magnet for the laser, because I haven't got a pole for my laser. So once the cavities were cleared, all my damp rods are in, all my bricks are replaced, the ones that I removed to clear the cavities. It's on to building up my timber floor, which is very similar to the rest of the house and what I did downstairs. So I have a video detailed, or linked rather, below, which goes into that in as great detail as you want. You're welcome to ask any questions about it in that video or this video. I'll be happy to answer them, why I did it, what my methodology was. But yeah, it's just me unwrapping all my cables, deciding where I want my pipes to come through for my flow and return feeds for the downstairs radiators. And also those are the cable feeds for the eventual kitchen, which will go in this place. But it's very straightforward. No noggins in at this point. I just want to get my floor spacings all right and get these joists fixed in. I'm in the dark, so you have to forgive the lighting. But just a quick one. If you've seen my video before about me doing timber floors, the build up from this point is the same. So I won't repeat myself. I'll link the video below. But I'll just show you quick. So it's your masonry, which is engineering bricks or concrete blocks, 3-to-1 mix. You've got plastic, damp, then wall plate, then timbers, then there'll be Celotex insulation butted up to the top. Oh, battery's dying. And then my ply on top once I've foamed around the edges of the Celotex and taped over the top. But yeah, check out that other video and I'll go into it in more detail. The main addition in this room has been these dry rods, which I've used throughout extensively. Had a few spare, so I just went up a couple of courses. Can't hurt, right? But yeah, next is to open this up. Thank you for watching the video how I turned this concrete floor into a timber floor. The rest is very self-explanatory. and is covered in another video. But yeah, thank you for watching this far. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them below. My battery's about to die, so I better go. Bye.